Sarah not coming?
No, she has her brother's birthday party.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
Okay, we're echoing again. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Summer Fling wrap-up. So today we're just here to talk about what we read, the best, the worst, how our experience was, what we thought about it. And so let's just go around and introduce ourselves. I'll start. I'm Chloe. My channel is always booked. You're here if you're watching. So I think you know me. And let's go on to Izzy.
Hey guys, I'm Izzy from Happy For Now. So yeah, come check me out if you're not already there. I mean, I feel like we probably have a lot of crossover, Chloe, but
yeah,
yeah, probably. Antonella, man, she is the MVP of everything.
I
really
love
is. Oh my
Antonella
gosh.
so much.
She is awesome. Hello, Antonella.
Hey.
Yay.
Well, hey, I'm Jen from the Book Refuge. So happy to be with all of you today to talk about the Summer Fling because it was a fun readathon. So
all romance all the time.
You still got like 3 more days.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
this day works the best to have it.
No,
yeah, Saturdays are good.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 9 p.m. where Antonella is, so
it's right.
You know, she's a rock star. She comes like whenever she can. Like it's like she'll wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like don't even like she is a rock star.
Hi, Sarah. Wish you were with us.
Yes. Okay, Nicole, it's you.
I am Nicole. My channel name is Who Picked This Book, and I love everybody. I love all my romance buddies, and I love when we go live because it's always a great time.
It is.
Yes, it is. I heard I missed out on quite the Tuesday read with me.
Oh, yes, you did.
I'm really sad you weren't there, Chloe.
The Tuesday read along where nobody read and Juan was really uncomfortable, and I hope he pops in again sometimes. But yeah,
well,
that'll teach you
direct into now.
Yeah, that'll teach you to just pop in on someone's live and then promote yourself, I guess.
There you go.
That's the fun about us all being channels that are like under 5,000 because we can do whatever we want and there's not really any consequences. Like,
yes,
Cola and Banana Books can't talk about pegging on hers or she'd be losing herself.
Yeah, we were talking about pegging.
I mean, you can just make it your brand like I have. So.
Oh, yeah.
Metal, phallic-shaped things.
Yeah. That really is becoming my brand. I have chosen it for myself. So
it was awesome.
when you plan an incest recommendation video, I feel like you've crossed through the taboo.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm from Ashraf Books, and that's it.
I know, I should have come up with some sort of question.
I know, I don't know.
kind of dropped the ball on that one.
No, the readathon was great. I loved that it was, I don't know, it just made me pick up some more. August is never a good reading month for me. It just never is, like whenever I look back. So I felt kind of like I couldn't get into it as much, but it was really fun. And I really love doing like the Instagram stuff too. I thought that was a great addition, you know. Sometimes you don't know what to post, so it was kind of fun to, you know, have something and be like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah. So I think is somebody echoing again? Hold on, I'm gonna mute myself and see if it stops.
Okay. I don't hear an echo, so I
didn't hear
it. Okay. It may just be me. Anyway, so let's just, is it now?
No.
Is it echoing? Okay.
I think you're good. We'll just try to not
Jen, don't make me paranoid.
I'm sorry.
So Jeremy got me AirPods for our anniversary at the beginning of August. And I'm not a technology person. I'm like, give me the old Apple headphones that just are like Nicole's got. Yes. Like, give me those because I know how to work them. And so these, like, there's all these different spots where if you like push it, it does this or it does that. And I'm like, I don't like that. Like, I don't know what to do. And so I very likely could be screwing things up.
And it's not like an actual button. You just push, you just touch the earbud.
Yeah,
and
it's just like the sensor.
I got like an off-brand pair because I'm cheap, and the same thing. I didn't realize that I was cooking, and I had them in, and it was like slipping, so I touched it. And I don't know what I did, but it was messed up for a while.
Well, that's why I like my Beats because they actually have buttons, but with my the compatibility with my Mac to my beats. Like sometimes it'll just kick me off, and I don't want to like lose audio in the middle of a freaking live stream.
Yeah,
so.
they're pretty good. But I mean, other than I wish there was a button rather than just like tapping it with your finger, and all of a sudden it's like frozen. So.
Yeah.
I'm
Actually,
doing anything, but I don't have kids or dogs or husbands running around that can off. So.
well, I am like isolated in this room, but Ainsley spilled a cup of coffee on my computer, so my computer speaker no longer works. Or microphone. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Lovely.
I feel like I'm in the minority. I love my AirPods. They're literally the only reason I listen to like so many books.
Well,
I really like them.
That's good because usually when I had like the kind of like usually have like the old school ones, and I would always get them like stuck on something like the counter, and then you like pull them out, and then
so I do.
I
switch.
That would happen at the gym.
Yeah.
Like, on the elliptical handle and like yanked out.
Yes. It lasted as long as they did.
Gosh, Deja's here, and she was in a
car
wreck this morning.
Yes.
So, Deja, we're glad you're okay, and thank you for joining us, even though you're concussed.
Did you go to the hospital, Deja? I don't know if you boxed me that. We were boxing this morning, but
I just feel for her. I think I was her age when I had like my first big accident, and it was like
I was 16, and that was my first concussion, first of 3.
Lovely.
So yeah,
I've never gotten a concussion, which is shocking considering I played rugby.
That is shocking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I've never had one, but I don't really play sports, so I'm not.
That was my only sport, and I was the second smallest person on the team. Like I was not full height yet. I still had like another 2 inches to grow. So I was 5'1" instead of 5'3", you know?
Yeah. You were just like under the radar.
Yep. I somehow.
You're fine. That's funny.
Oh. Well, like to be shorter. 5'10" life is not my favorite.
You're 5'9". Is that what you said? Yeah.
It's not fun. I'm telling you.
I felt like would be a good.
You know, like here's the thing though. I'm home alone and I'm like climbing counters to reach things or having to fix the time.
You don't have to look at the dust on top of your fridge.
True.
Oh yeah.
There's a TikTok of like a guy who's like 6'3" and his wife's 5'2", and it's his eye level and it's like the top of her head. So like I found it and I sent it to my husband. I was like, "Is this what you see?"
My friend is 4'10". So there's a foot height difference between us.
Who's 4'10", Jen?
My best friend.
Oh, really? How funny.
So you just see the top of her head.
You're like this.
Like right underneath me.
I had a college roommate who was a foot taller than me. She was delightful, and it was hilarious. She would hug me, or we'd be around each other. It's like polar opposites.
Baby.
Here's baby. She's got to make an appearance.
She does.
Anyway, so let's go around and say our favorite book from the Summer Fling. Does that work?
Yeah.
Everybody need a minute?
No.
We were talking before we went live. You guys just tell me if you start hearing an echo, because I am hearing an echo.
I'm hearing it when you talk now. I don't hear from anyone else. And I'm not joking. You're echoing.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just
on you as well.
Disconnect really quick. Not the computer, just my headphones.
Okay.
Oop. No, you're muted. You're like muted.
While we figure out technical.
Yeah, I know it's hard when you hear yourself. No, you're muted.
You're muted. You're muted still.
It says muted on.
You're gonna hit the button on the screen. There you go.
Try now. No.
No. Oh no, it's worse now. Oh no.
No. No, we can't hear you at all.
Can't hear you at all. But there was like the static at first when you were first talking.
Okay.
Well, we can
try to talk.
if you want.
And we'll see where you get to.
We'll start and then come back to Chloe because technical difficulties are not good.
Okay, Izzy, go.
I'm gonna pick two. Because I can't pick one.
Fine.
So we're gonna go with "You Had Me at Ola" by Alexis Daria that I can't shut up about. because I really, really liked that book. I think it was delightful. Wonderful use of lube in the book. Like, just happened. There was no like preamble or any, like, it just, they used it and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, normalize this. I want more of this.
A bunch of people need.
And then also Destiny's Captive by Beverly Jenkins, because it was a lady pirate. And
Yes.
it was the best book in that series, the 3 books. It was my favorite one. Like, the other ones are like 3.5. So this one was like a 5-star. So those are my favorites I've read so far.
What categories were each of those for? How about we do that?
What are the categories?
You're just telling me your favorite books. So, well, probably author of color.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my-
so Author of Color, Hot and Spicy. And I did, what was the other one?
Both of those are for diversity.
And then Old School Historical. Also, I counted those.
Okay.
I can count more. So I kind of mixed them in. I haven't gone through and done the board fully because I'm a slacker of a host right now. It's fine.
Oh, there's Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth.
We're just going around saying what our favorite book or 2 was of the readathon.
And what categories they were. So, okay.
Awesome. I forgot something. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I did my board in my planner. So I did all of the squares except for I didn't end up reading the Harlequin in category 1. And let's see, what was my favorite? Okay, well I probably have 2 of them as well. So out of the ones I read for the readathon, I liked Slave to Sensation, and that was for author of color and Hot and Spicy. That's the first side changeling. And I mean, I said this, I think, on the mid-month one, that I just really like the connection in the pack and the physical touch aspects. And so I just really like that about it. And then the other one is I read I really liked A Week to Be Wicked as well. And I like that one because it had such a steep turnaround for me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like I was actually like, wow, this might be the first Tessa Dare that I actively am disliking. And then when she had the turnaround happen, I was like, why did I worry? Like I knew she would do it, but I was for about a chapter and a half, I was like, oh, this took a turn. I am not impressed. And then the next chapter, she fixed it. And I really, really liked it. So that one I went for road trip.
Okay, you guys, sorry to interrupt, but I've got my engineer guy over here. So am I echoing now?
No, it's
No.
better.
And you can hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. I think I had both this mic and my computer mic going. And so I think that's what was screwing me up. I don't know, but if it's good now, then
Yes.
okay.
Hey, engineer.
Thank you, engineer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those were my favorites.
Thank you guys for being patient. Sorry about that interruption.
Nicole, you want to go?
Yes. Okay. So my favorite was Loving Catalina Cove by Brenda Jackson.
I just finished that.
Oh my God, I loved it so much. I proceeded to abandon my TBR and just finish the ones that are out. There's currently 3 out right now. Number 4 is coming out next year. And oh my God, I fucking loved it so much. My favorite book actually was the second book, Forget Me Not. And I was it has like the amnesia trope. And I'm just like, oh my God, why did I wait so long to read this series? I was so mad at myself.
I just added that to my Goodreads because I saw you were reading it. Although I don't love the amnesia thing, but I trust you. So
There's good amnesia tropes out there. I promise there are good amnesia
So
books.
good.
Are they, like, I'm assuming it's like companion?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm. So yeah, it's I think you should read them in order just because you will meet and see like the other couples in the books, and it's kind of like, especially with the third book, like you meet the couple in the third book in book number 1, and you kind of get not a lot of their backstory, but you're intrigued by them in the first book. So it's good to read
Is
them
it
in
her
order.
best friend?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to I was hoping so.
Yeah, I love that one, and that was for my author of color prompt. So.
did you have another one, Nicole? Okay.
No.
I So I didn't read a ton for the readathon because I'm a failure this month, but it's okay. But I think I read. I thought I knew my favorite, and then I finished one yesterday, and I think that might like edge its way up. But I loved Caraval, which is a YA, so it doesn't really fit with like it's not romance, but I just love that book so much. It's so magical, like mystical, and I just loved it. So if anyone wants something for fall that's very like, I don't know, there's a lot of like whimsy, I would definitely recommend Caraval. I definitely want to read the next one soon. And then I also just finished A Princess in Theory though, and I really, really liked this. It's one of those ones that like I gave a 4-star originally, but like the more I sit here, I'm like, I don't know. It was really cute. It might edge its way up. It was just great. I really, really enjoyed it. It was one of those ones I bought last. My cat is headbutting my computer. Guys. Yeah, I picked it up last weekend and I had to read it, so it kind of pushed something else. But I guess this one would have been for author of color too. I probably could fit a couple categories, to be honest. And then Caraval I did for Sweet and Clean because it's YA. Although that's super cute. But yeah, if anyone has like me and has not picked up, I read Alyssa Cole's historicals, but I hadn't read any of the contemporary, so I was really happy to pick one up, and I for sure need to like read the next ones because I'm intrigued by The Best Friend.
They're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Elizabeth, what's your favorite?
Well, I'm still working on a couple, so I mean, this wrap up is way too early for me because I've still got lots of books to finish.
Got 3 days left.
This one's probably going to be my favorite. It's by Lori Copeland, Glory, Mail Order Bride story about this girl who was, I guess, when she was a baby, she fell off a wagon train, and this local man found her and raised her. So she called him Poppy. And so she's kind of a tomboy, you know, she doesn't really understand about bathing and all of that kind of stuff. And so Poppy dies and she is on her own. And then Poppy's brother comes beating down the door drunk, and she barely gets away and escapes. And then she finds this, she's going down the road, and there's this wagon of 5 young women, and they're being escorted by this young gentleman who has taken them from Missouri to Colorado because they've all got contracts to be mail order brides. So she doesn't want to go with them, but because they're going to make her take a bath, and she doesn't want to do that. But I think she's finally going to have to realize that she's going to have to go with them because she's not going to make it on her own. She's like 17 or 19 or something, and it's really cute. I mean, she's hilarious, this girl, because they're trying to say, you know, well, maybe, you know, you should wash, you should take a bath. She's like, I took a bath in the spring. What are you talking about? You know, like not the spring of water, but, you know, last spring. So anyway, she's funny. But I also discovered that this category romance series is on Hoopla, and I really like this. It's the Military Canine series, and I started it last year, and this is book 2, and they're on Hoopla on audio. And they're by multiple authors, and there's a lot of action. They're love-inspired suspense, but they're very light on the faith. It's just, you know, like very underlying the faith-based part of it. They're just clean, but a lot of action. And it takes place on a military base, and the main female is the half sister to this Red Rose killer that was introduced in the first one. And his mystery is going to cover the whole series. And then in each book, there's a smaller mystery that is wrapped up in each story. But I'm excited that I found these on audio because I thought I was going to have to read them all in print and I would never get them done. So now that these are on audio, I was able to get this done quickly. So the main female, she has this little boy, and then this is the guy who is he's military personnel, and him and his dog are supposed to be having her under surveillance so that they can, if she has contact with her brother, then they can arrest him. But she doesn't want contact with her brother. She doesn't want anything to do with him, and she can't seem to convince them that, you know, she's not a criminal. Her brother is, but she's not. Meanwhile, they fall in love and all that stuff. So anyway, it's really good, action packed. So that's my top ones. But I want to just give honorable mention to one that you guys have probably heard of. It's The Lost and Found Bookshop by Susan Wiggs. The only thing I don't like about this one, is I always get back to like foul language, and this one doesn't even really have any graphic scenes at this point, and I'm 90% done. But there's some foul language, and this is really good. I like the characters. Characters are very likable. And Chloe, do you remember when we read The Apple Orchard and we didn't like it? This is book 3 in that series, but it's way better. It's like 50 times better than Apple Orchard.
Good.
Yeah. So try it out. I haven't read book 2 in the series, but I think they could all be read as standalones. So don't let the fact that it's book 3 make anybody not read it. There's a little bit of a love triangle, but it's not obnoxious. The only obnoxious thing in this one is that the one she's probably going to end up with, for 75% of the book, she thinks he's married, and the reader knows that he's divorced, but she doesn't know, and she keeps bringing up, oh, but he's married. Oh, I wonder what his wife is like. I wonder this. I wonder that. And I'm like, just, oh my goodness, enough already. I wish the author would have let her learn it a little bit sooner, because I got tired of hearing about it.
Yeah. Susan Wiggs is someone I want to try. My mom loves Susan Wiggs, so she's always telling me to read her. And I've got a couple of the books, but I never really know where to start. But she writes Christmas stuff too, doesn't she?
I don't know.
Not one.
I don't know.
I'm getting confusing.
She definitely, I don't know.
Well, if anyone has a good book to start with for her, let me know.
Well, this one's pretty good. It takes place in the books.
Yeah,
takes place in the bookstore. There's some memory loss, and it's kind of mysterious.
I actually think I have The Apple Orchard, but I haven't heard great things after I bought it, and now you guys are reaffirming that. So I'm like, that might be going to the bookstore.
Yeah.
But this one isn't. It's like I said, it's in the same series, but it's way better. There's just one crossover character that makes an appearance in this book, and you don't have to have read Apple Orchard to read this one.
That one, I think the cover sold me. I'm like, oh, it's so cute.
Oh, I know.
I'm such a I don't know. I get pulled in by the pretty cover.
Totally, I do too.
If you have books on the cover, then I'm sold.
Right. Yeah, that too. Okay, Sarah said to maybe start with Summer at Willow Lake. So
it's a whole series.
I have that.
That one is a big, long series.
Oh boy. Maybe I'll read a couple from the series.
Yeah.
Chloe, have you read any of those? The Willow Lake?
I have them all on my shelf, and I'm I have to marathon, and so I just have not got my head in the game yet because it's a long one.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Sarah, stay tuned to Sarah and my channels tomorrow, because there's going to be a fun announcement for the Lost and Found Bookshop. So thanks for plugging that a little bit, Elizabeth. So my favorite, I'm going to say the same as the mid-month, is Not Like the Movies by Carrie Winfrey. I love that series so much, and I just loved seeing their friends to lovers is what that prompt was. So loved seeing that for sure. And it also had good diversity. It was just so good. I don't need to gush about it again, but that was my favorite for sure. So which prompt do you guys think was the hardest to fill?
I'm trying to think.
I still don't have a road trip, and I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm kind of slumpy, so I'm kind of just done for the month. I think I'm just going to listen to podcasts and read one thing, and so I don't think I'm going to. But
I still haven't started this, and I'm sorry, because I wanted to be able to tell you guys about it. I keep putting it off. It's coming out in October, and I think it's going to be super cute. It's by Mary Helen Sheriff, so everybody add it to your Goodreads. It's coming out in October.
That's your friend, right?
I don't really know her. She just contacted me, and but the book looks adorable.
I totally dropped the ball on A Week to Be Wicked. Guys, I got 2 chapters in, and it was good. It's not that it was bad, but I got a couple arcs, and I was very thankful for them, but they were due really fast.
Really fast.
I'm that person that's I need to have it read by the date it comes out. So I'm reading so slow, guys. It's sad. It's 1 book a week over here right now. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to drop that to pick up this, because it's not going to get read. But
yeah, I didn't finish A Week to Be. I'm going to finish it. Don't worry.
I'll be at our little Voxer chat. Where,
Okay, me too. You'll see me pop up in like a month. I'll be like, I'm here.
I was reading it, and then I just kind of like, I don't know, I wasn't in a historical mood, I guess.
Yeah.
And I had to like jump ship.
Yeah.
Something else.
I do that though. And then if I come back when I'm in the mood, I'm gonna like it more, you know? I don't know. But I'm glad
The hero has some serious trauma that I was not expecting
Mm-hmm.
to
I
come.
think what made me like put it off a little bit is I'm just like not in the place for that right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The thing too about Tessa Dare is that I feel like when she does trauma, like it was serious, but I noticed this too in like romancing the was it not romance? Is it romancing the Duke? I can't remember.
The blind one.
Yeah, where it's a comedy and then there's a real serious trauma that the person has. And sometimes that's just really sharp how it was because there's like funny scene, and then really dark thing that you find out. And we don't really like sit with it at all. We just like move back to funny. I mean, I ended up liking the book as a whole a lot because I liked what his trauma was, but it's not the same as like Kerrigan Byrne, where the whole thing is filled with dark and just gritty and they're working through everything. Like, so I don't know. It's a weird mood. Like it's a weird mood to be in. It almost gives you whiplash.
Yeah, I tend to love her for her funny, like for her comedy. Like my favorites are all the ones that I've read have been really, really funny. But I like typically the same. I'll go with like a Kerrigan Byrne or like a Lisa Kleypas if I just want like all the angst and drama. So I don't know. I think there are some authors that do one a little better than the other, but it doesn't mean it's a bad book. It just means it's a little bit too. I get what you're saying. So we'll report back when we officially read that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm always ready to hear. I think it too is just I've read so many serious historicals and I'm loving them. So to switch back to Tessa, I was like, ooh, I wasn't quite in the mood for this. So, but it worked.
Gotcha.
So I've never had a book less than 4 stars from Tessa Dare. So
me neither.
I have got to try her. I really need to, but so my old school historical was The Rose Garden by Susanna Kearsley, and I was so hesitant to read it just because I'd heard such good things, and I'm not a fan of historical. Sorry if you can hear me in the background. And I didn't like it. And so then now I'm even more like, historical.
Well, I think I haven't read her yet, but I think something like Tessa Dare is a lot more light than something like The Rose Garden, just from, I know a lot of people who have read it. So I feel like you would like a comedy that has.
I think so too.
You know, so I would try one of her other ones. Annie
needs to participate. We were talking at lunch and we're like, our life is going to be so loud here in like a year because she just talks constantly and she's 2 months old. But yeah.
I think if you pick a trope you already like in contemporary, Chloe, and find that in historical, you'll be good. Like you will.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
I got a big about this where I was like, people always ask me where to start if they're new to historical. And I'm like, well, what's your favorite trope? Like, just like, it's really hard for me to tell you who to start with if you don't know what I like, you know, if I don't know what you like. If you reading steamy contemporary and you want that in historical, like that's totally different than someone who wants it to have no sex at all and where I start you. Like they're 2 different places.
Yeah. And like I do think I'll be like Tamika and like find my way in and then get like sucked in and sucked down a rabbit hole. And
then you binge 10.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens to me every time I'm back into a new genre I haven't been reading. Like I'm dipping back into paranormal again and enjoying it, and like that's all I want to read now. So
And I literally have space on my shelf for like 2 books, like on my unread shelf. So I'm like, I really cannot do that right now. I've got to get rid of some before I discover something new.
I'm glad I don't keep myself to that strict.
I know. I'm just like, I cannot get rid of books. As you can see from the stacks that are behind me, I have a huge stack right behind me on the floor that I need to find room for just because my shelves are completely full. But that does not stop me from buying more books.
I just
Kindle reader, y'all.
I just went even crazier than normal because I ordered for my secret Santa gifts. Like I I was ordering a bunch for people, and then I just went like crazy on eBay and Thrift Book and bought myself a bunch because I'm finding the Catherine Coulter original ones, and then like I'm ordering the Krista and Becca Ritchie books because I
love those.
And for a while they were like $80 a piece.
They're so expensive.
They were out, but I found this one on eBay for $9.99 with free shipping.
That's awesome.
I found The Long Way Down on Thrift Book for $12.
That's awesome. I'm gonna have to check it out because
Thrift Books is where it's at.
Yeah, that's
so good.
So good. But I don't
got restocked because I just ordered Kiss the Sky and Fuel That Fire, only $14. So they're back to they restocked. Okay. So anyway, those books are so good. Oh, I love them.
But yeah, I don't know what other one was hard. I mean, the road trip was kind of hard. I don't know if anything else was hard per se. I mean, I'm someone who just like kind of makes it fit like what I read. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, that fits, right?
Yeah.
So for me, the one that would have been hard, because again, I got all of mine except category. And like, I probably still will read the category romance that I bought. I'm just wasn't in the mood. I tried reading it 3 times and I was like, meh, I'm fine. Yeah. But the one that would have been hard, maybe I'll say that, is The Sweet and Clean would have been hard for me. But I ended up reading Midnight Sun for that one because I wanted to read The Betrothed, and only one person in my Discord group actually ended up reading it. They were like, don't read it.
Oh, really?
Which I already heard from my friend Becca said that it was really just, she was like, I maybe would have liked this in like 10th grade, but it was just, it was too love triangle-y, angsty, just like really, in her opinion, of course. And then I was like, and when all of my reading group was like, I DNF'd it, I finished it, didn't like it, DNF, I'm like, well,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did Carvel for Sweet and Clean, so I went YA. So like it has to be work for that, right? I've been in a really weird YA mood. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I just haven't wanted to read this much YA in probably like 3 years. I don't know.
I'm in that mood too, actually, and I haven't been doing it. I think that's why I'm like getting slumpy, is because I really just want. Well, I've been single parenting for like 8 days. Jeremy just got home yesterday, I guess, and so I think part of it is my mind is kind of fried, and so I just want like YA,
comfort,
like comfort reads.
I think it's because I read them when it was such a like good time in life, I guess maybe. I'm like, I want the like nostalgia of like a good series of YA. Plus fall, I always read more in the fall.
There's 3 continuing series that I've started that are coming out in September, like Blood and Honey's coming out. The Smoke. There's like 3 coming out that I want to read, so I'll probably read some YA.
Yeah. I was making the list of like books I want to read this fall, which half the time I don't stick to, but I like making the list regardless. And I think 3/4 of it were some kind of fantasy / YA. So I don't know.
My fall 2 come out videos coming out on Tuesday, I think.
Cool.
And I have like 50 books on there.
Whoa.
That are coming out in the fall. So
I don't think I need to. I mean, I am gonna watch it, but I'm like, I'm gonna lose it.
I need to watch it while distracted, so I can't be like on Thrift Books buying stuff.
Yeah, I just have a running list of books that I create at the beginning of the year that's coming out like all throughout the year, and I just add it whenever I learn of new books that are coming out. So I'm like, oh, I need to keep an eye out for this, and so every Tuesday I just go on there. It's like, okay, what books are coming out today? All right.
September is like banging. Like I don't know.
There's a day with like 500 plus books coming out in September.
That's a lot.
It's all the books that got pushed due to COVID.
I
feel so bad for all these like debut authors. Like, can you imagine?
They're gonna get buried.
I know.
Yeah.
So Antonella said she had a hard time picking Sweet and Clean, and it was her favorite. What did you read, Antonella?
Yeah.
Let us know. Welcome to the light side, Antonella.
I love Sarah. She said she read Indigo by Beverly Jenkins and really enjoyed it. I love Indigo so much.
See, and I think maybe I I maybe need to jump into historical that way because like Civil War era interests me. It's just like Regency stuff that does not.
Oh, okay.
Your
So-
options are endless on historicals, honestly.
Yeah, and there's so
Yeah.
many different eras you could read about too, like medieval, Gilded Age, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it's there. So find one.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Is that from medieval, Jen?
I was going to. I was just like, whatever. Give me with your best shot. Like, you didn't make the video, I did, so shut up. No, most people were nice. It had to be done.
What did everybody think of category romances? I think it was my first ever. I don't ever read them, so
Yeah,
I
some people like them.
appreciate that that Sarah did that prompt because it got me into something new. So what did you guys think?
She's savage. Win some, lose some. Autistic hero.
I've read Transcendence by Shay Savage, and I really enjoyed it.
Sounds familiar. Okay.
It's Twilight fan fiction.
I mean, it was amazing.
No, I know. I think it's amazing. It's Twilight fan fiction, right?
Win some, lose some.
Yeah.
I love these category prompts because I read categories, like not as much as I
Oh, do you?
do. Yes, I do. Not as much as I want to, but I do really like category romances, and I think they're fun if you just want to read a book quickly. You know, like for a
They're
prompt,
quick.
if you're like, I don't want to, or you want to try an author. Like, it's a great way to try some authors that maybe you wouldn't otherwise, and know if you're gonna like them.
Yeah.
That's what I did is I read This Time for Keeps by Rochelle Allers, and I had heard about her and I wanted to try her. And so it was nice to try her in like a shorter.
Yeah. That's what I
or
like.
something.
It's they're short, they're easy. What did I read my first ever Nocturne category romance, which is their old paranormal line.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That was my first ever category romance that I read was from the Nocturne. Are we surprised? No.
Blaze was mine. So I started in the Blaze category with Tiffany Reese and stuff. So, I didn't even know Nocturne was a thing until recently, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I somehow missed them completely. And I'm sad now because, they don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Did you, how long did they exist?
I have
Is there
no
a lot?
idea.
I don't know.
Sarah, where are you?
Sarah.
Izzy, I have a bunch in my garage in all the big windfall of books that I got free. So if you send me
Oh
your
my
address,
gosh.
I can send you some
That would be amazing.
of the Nocturne. Literally, I have so many books in my
I
garage.
because
So you guys send me your addresses. Oh, do y'all want to see what I found for Nicole at our
so
BOGO
excited.
used bookstore
I'm so
the other
excited.
day?
Sorry.
All right. This is hilarious because I told her that I found it, but you have to look. There's a sticker on it, and it's the kind that doesn't peel off. It's like printed on. But this is the book
nice.
that she was looking
Oh my
for. She showed a picture of it on her
See, I
TBR
found-
video. Can you see it?
I think I
Look
showed
where
in the
the
picture
sticker
that I
is.
got.
And that's
Tender is
printed
the
on. It's hilarious. But anyway, yeah. So I don't have any postage money this week, though. The electric bill came out. So I know, Chloe, I said I'm going to send you something too, but I have all these packages piled up. This one I still have to. I wanted to show it today, so I got to put it in an envelope. But within the
Last
next couple
weekend,
weeks, I'll
Nicole,
get
I
stuff mailed
found
out.
all of them. I have
Nice.
all of them that have those pictures on the front, and they have not even a spine cracked.
Wow.
wild.
Yep.
I found this one 2
Row,
days ago.
Silver Flame. I found all of them. Yeah, I have that one.
Yeah, I
Wait.
found this at Goodwill. And yeah, the spine's not even cracked.
Yeah, I got
Good find. Goodwill too.
Yeah, it was
They're-
$1 because it was the color tag too. So I'm like, yes.
Goodwill's a hit or miss for me. The one near me either has like a bunch of good stuff or I'm nothing. Like, nothing.
Well, I showed a picture of mine, and it's like the historical romance section is literally a floor to ceiling.
Whoa.
I'm jealous. I'm going to visit that.
Yes, we all need to go. It's amazing. Whenever I go in, I have to set a time limit, like $1 limit. I set a time limit of, okay, you have 45 minutes. Because I have credit.
Buy a lot in 45 minutes, just like throw them in.
Yeah, so I got 32
Oh, yeah.
books for $38.
Nice.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah.
I found a Whitney My Love or whatever by Judith McNaught, the original printing.
I found the special edition with the updated. You'll have to read the original Spank scene, and I'll read the.
Yeah, I've got the original spanking scene apparently.
Yeah, I have the updated one.
I like that that's a thing.
Like we should read them and swap, and then read the other one.
Let's take pictures. This will be quicker.
Come on. Yeah,
I know.
I'm
I'm
excited.
very curious to see.
I didn't read a category this month just because we already know I didn't read a ton this month, but I like categories. I think they're good, like Izzy said, when you just want to like get through the book super quick and you also know what you're getting a lot of times, you know? Like, I don't know. I've liked a lot of them. I'm really excited to read the next one from the first one was The Temporary Wife Temptation. I don't remember what the second one's called, by J.C. Lee. That one comes out, I think, this week. I think it's on Tuesday. So I think I'm going to get that one. But yeah, some of them have been hit or miss. I mean, there's been a few that I haven't like loved just because sometimes I don't think there's not enough meat in them for me. Like I want a little more, but that's why I think it's almost like really talent when they can fit all that in like a tiny package.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like to develop it all, because sometimes you'll read a great one and then you'll read one that's maybe not so good. And I think you can kind of tell the difference. But yeah, I love them. And I think they're great when you want to just sit on the couch.
Formula.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's I don't know. When I don't want a lot of mental energy, it's the best.
Yeah.
And a lot of really big authors now
so many of
start doing those. So you can go back and find a lot of their old stuff, like Debbie Makeover. She got her start doing those, and others too.
Perfect.
I was going to say a lot of those authors are so prolific that if you do find one that you really like, you can normally find a lot from them.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And some, we've got early Tessa Bailey, Naima Simone. Yeah, there's a lot of people that have written for them at some point.
I didn't know
or
Tessa Bailey
another.
wrote for them. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people have.
I love Sarah Morgan, so I need to go check out some of her old stuff. Because I read her.
I feel like Kristen Hanna maybe had some. She had some that were really small romance books, but I don't know if they were Harlequin or not. Does anybody know? I don't know. But she has some. She got her start in like short romance books too. It's crazy.
Cool.
Good old romance. It's a gateway drug.
It's like historicals. I feel like almost every author I know, especially if they're a little bit older, wrote historicals at some point. Like most of them are writing contemporary now, but I feel like when you go to the bookstore, like I know, like someone just said Nora Roberts. I know were historical. Like I think Judith not, and like a lot of the ones who like Catherine Coulter. My mom loves her like her new stuff that's like more like suspense. But I know she wrote a lot of historical. I haven't read them because suspense scares me. But only some of them.
Was my first book I read by her though, and that is a suspense romance, but it's different because the other ones are literally like FBI thrillers, and then there's a main couple that's together, like it's a fine crime couple. But there's one called Beyond Eden that I actually just reread it because it was on Audible Escape, and that was my first Catherine Coulter, and it's a girl who it's so crazy because this book was written in the 80s. It was reprinted in the 90s, and then it was reprinted in like the 2000s. So I had the 2000 copy, and I didn't know it was written in the 80s. It's literally like so prevalent for like Me Too, because it was this girl who was raped, and then it happens when she's in France, and then she is completely traumatized by the process of them trying to get the guy. But it was her brother, and like this is the setup. Like it was her brother-in-law who did it, so her family blames her and says she seduced him and all this stuff. And then it's like 20 or 10 years later, and she's changed her name and is trying to live a different life, and it just haunts her and stuff. But anyway, that's good. But the thrillers, I'm just like, her historical romance are.
It's interesting that so many have like transitions. Yeah.
Her HR, so I'm a little bit. But I didn't know she had pretty covers, and I found them. So I've ordered all those on eBay, and I can't wait to
Jen.
Somebody needs to do eBay login away.
I only just on eBay. Oh my gosh, I was gonna tell you. Sorry. One more thing. I was looking for original like Outlanders, which are hella expensive. Like, so expensive. And I found this one that it's not a first printing, but it's like the original Outlander cover, and it was up for auction, starting at like $1, and nobody else bid on it. So I got it for
Win. That's
Wow.
a win.
I found one at a second in Charles and I didn't buy it and I kicked myself in the butt.
yeah.
Oh no.
I want to find a cross stitch someday because that's the original title of Outlander was cross stitch. And I have never found one of those. But I only have an original printing of Drums of Autumn, which was the last book before they changed the covers to and then they made all the rest of them match. But I found that one at a thrift store for $2, and that's the only one I've been able to find so far that wasn't like pay $50 for it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Have any of you guys been to McKay's in Nashville?
No,
No.
I'm not. I really want to though, because I've heard they're so good. I literally looked up how far I'd have to drive to get there from
Yeah.
but it would be like a whole day.
I want to
really?
like crash one of my husband's work trips when he goes to Nashville to go.
Yes.
So badly.
It is so like it's so over. Like I walked in and I was like, I just need to like sit down for a second and take it all in because there's so much. And we went for Jeremy's 35th birthday to Nashville, and so we went. And so Ainsley was like a year old, I don't know, and he took her and they like looked at stuff, and I just roamed for a long time. It was wonderful.
It would take me 23 hours and 38 minutes to get to Nashville.
6 hours. Let's look it up. Hold on.
Yeah, that.
Chloe, are you in? I forgot. Are you in Missouri or Kansas?
I'm in eastern Kansas, so it's only like 9 hours, maybe.
Oh, okay. How far are you from Tulsa? Are you very far?
We're like 5 hours from Oklahoma City. I think it's not like I think if you go a different way, it's not that much further. Tulsa, is it?
16
I don't know.
16
They
hours.
have there's a store in Tulsa called Gardner's. That's the largest used bookstore in Oklahoma. So if you ever find yourself in Tulsa, be sure to go to Gardner's.
So funny story about Tulsa. One time, Jeremy and I when I was pregnant with Ainsley, I stopped working. I don't know, sometime like in November-ish, and he was still traveling like constantly. So I just decided to start traveling with him. And so we went everywhere. And one time we were trying to come home from somewhere, and it was a terrible storm, wouldn't land, did an emergency landing in Tulsa. And we were both like, let's storm chase it. So we got in a car and drove home from Tulsa, and I don't know why we were in such a rush to be home, but they were going to like make us stay in Tulsa overnight, and we just didn't want to do it. So we drove from Tulsa, and it wasn't that far, like 4 or 5 hours, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I stand corrected. It's only 3 hours and 56 minutes. So I will be going there at some point in the near future. Because
Yay! Vlog it when you do.
Right?
It would literally take me an entire day nonstop driving.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not that far from Nashville either.
I feel
So
like I could do it. I could get up early, drive, be there for a few hours, and drive back.
Yeah.
I'll come down to you and we'll go together.
Yeah. Where are you at, Izzy?
I'm outside Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh,
It's
that's
only
not
like
so far.
4
Yeah,
hours
we're
away.
better than Atlanta.
Next time
I'm
my husband
jealous.
drags me down to visit a friend, I'll be like, bye.
Yes.
All our friends are in Atlanta, so we go down a lot.
Sarah,
Yeah, good.
Sarah, I bet you're not that far from me in Canada, right? So I'm in Fargo, North Dakota. Because if you were to drive down to, I bet you could pass close by me, Sarah. We could be friends.
Everyone's
You
meeting
northern
up, and I'm
folk.
over here on the west side, just all alone.
I know.
That's
Nicole.
crazy
All
to
the
me.
fun bookstores.
Has anyone been to Owls?
I've been to Powell's, yeah.
Yeah, one of my good friends lives in Portland. She just moved there like last year. So she keeps enticing me to visit her by just like waving Powell. She's like, well, don't you want to visit me and Powell?
It was really cool. I've been twice. I got to go to Portland for work twice before, in my old job. Like it was literally like a year after each other. So it was great. So I'd go, I'd be like, oh, this is great. I want to come back for a while. Next year, they're like, you're going back. And I'm like, cool, I'm ready. It's cool. They don't have a great romance selection.
Really? Bad.
And the first time I went, they had a decent one. And then the next time I went, they'd shrunk it down even more. And I was really sad.
How can
I
a
wanna
series
go.
that big not have a big romance section? That's like a waste.
Well, I want to go to the Rip Bodice in Los Angeles. So.
Yeah.
The Rip Bodice is really cool. I've done that. And it's
5 hours away from me. It's more doable.
Yeah. But it was really nice. And they were super sweet. And one of the sisters was running it and they shipped all our stuff to me. Like I bought a bunch of stuff and they just offered to ship it.
That's
I
so nice.
So.
There's a romance only in Chicago too, isn't there?
Love Sweet Arrow. I was supposed to go in August, but you know, COVID. Actually, this weekend I think I was supposed to be in Chicago for KissCon.
Oh man,
Bummer.
sad.
I was looking at getting the book that I think one of the sisters just wrote. Do you guys see that? Mm-hmm. The one that's like I think it's like a nonfiction on like women in the Regency era. I really want to get that. I think it's B wrote it. But it sounded good. Yeah, I think it comes out in like a couple weeks maybe. I'll look it up and show you the picture because I found like basically kick-ass women in the Regency that were like, you know, doing things and people didn't know about it. So hold on.
Well, do you guys want to go through all of the prompts and say what you read? We kind of did that in the mid-year or mid-month or whatever, but if you want to do that, we could, or we can just talk about random stuff.
I was gonna ask if what people's plans for September are, like if they're what readathons you're doing or any books you're really excited to read in September. Maybe that would be a nice way to wrap up.
That's a good idea.
What do you think of that?
Or does anybody have prompts they're struggling with and want a book that they could maybe read in the next 3 days?
I'm really trying to power through The Flame and the Flower by Kathleen E. Woodywis, but I'm not liking it. I'm not enjoying it at all. It's so rapey. It's so bad. I'm like, and the main guy, all he talks about is how like he owns this plantation. He wants to get back to it, and like he's like literally raping her like 75 times. Like the first, like it's so bad. I'm just like I can't. I was reading it a little bit
because people said it's rapey about books that I like, and then I started reading and I'm like, oh no, this is actually rape.
This is actually rape. Yes.
You're raping her. That's happening. Well, I just had someone message me who's like, oh, I'm looking to start historical romance and I want to start with the first one, and I'm like, no.
Don't do it. Honestly, I'm not surprised because it was written in the 70s, you know, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it just,
I think
I'm really struggling.
Yeah. I think some are a little more adaptable to the time, you know, I just feel like some are and some just don't translate as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I found just recently, one of her last books she wrote before. And so I'm gonna try that one
Okay.
because it was literally written in the 2000s. Okay. So I found one of those this last weekend, and I'm gonna try that one. Also, I've heard some other ones people like better that aren't quite that.
Are you talking about Kathleen Woodywis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her book called A Rose in Winter was the first romance I ever remember reading. And I read it as a teenager, and I liked it. So, but I read more of a condensed version first, and then later, as an adult, I went back and read the whole thing. But I just remember it being mysterious. I don't remember it being problematic. But that was years ago.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like Nicole, I was the same where I was like, I need to read this for nostalgic purposes. I was like, I call myself a historical romance lover.
And
read. Got about 50 pages in, and I was like, "Nope, he's doing it again." Like,
yep.
she's saying I am not a prostitute. Please
Exactly.
stop.
Exactly.
And he's like, you're lying. Well, you're not a virgin anymore, so I can just keep doing this. And I'm like, oh my God, stop.
Right? And he's like, you'll learn to like it. I'm like, oh God, I can't.
Yeah. And I mean, it's really easy to see the difference now, though, too, because like I just read The Black Lion, and a bunch of the reviews said the same thing. And I'm like, this is way different than The Flame and the Flower. The way this is happening, it's a completely different situation. And
like not remorseful. He's not remorseful at all that he like mistook her for a prostitute and like raped her. And he's like, oh, you'll get used to it. You'll just be my mistress now. I'll put you up in a house.
I love him because he's taken all her innocence now, so she might as well love this guy.
I was just like, oh my God. Like seriously, like every 1 minute I'm like, oh no, no. Just reading this book, I'm just like, oh my God.
Just put it down if it's not working.
Yeah. What prompt is that for?
It's for old school historical.
Yeah.
That's why I love the Beverly Jenkins. I feel like they have old school vibes with being modern.
For sure. Yeah.
Read Judith McNaught or read, The Bride when it comes instead. Like,
I also don't want to push myself and then put myself in a reading slump because that's like can easily happen. So I'm like,
don't do it.
Nah, that ain't it. It's not it. Some things just don't need to be that historic. So true. Yes.
Well said.
Yeah. I mean, even that one isn't being historically accurate. She gets kidnapped off the street. Like she was kidnapped by him. Because, she was going to be raped by her guardian. Is it her guardian? And so she's running away from him and then gets kidnapped because their captain is for a prostitute. And so they kidnap her. So she goes from almost rape to rape. And it's just, this is not a captive situation I'm interested in.
It's like, this isn't dubious consent. This is full on non-consensual raping.
No.
Not good. It's not good. So,
Anyway, well, I'm proud of you for trying.
I did it. I took a chance, and I can honestly say that it's just not for me because I did try it.
Yeah. So for me, what I'm excited to read next month, I get to read The Secret finally. So I'm excited to read The Secret. All of y'all are welcome to read The Secret. We'll have a live for that one. And then, like I already said, I'm excited for Blood and Honey because I loved Serpent and Dove. I loved it. And Tamika and I are reading incest books for Taboo next month. So stick around for that tomorrow. We're announcing which books those are. So
nice.
Excited for those.
I'm very curious how that one goes.
I've already read them. I read 4 incest books this week, and they've been great.
Dang.
So I had said I was not going to do any more readathons for a couple of months just to catch up on my own personal reading challenges. But then I saw Rainy from Rainy Day Reads announce that fall readathon. I can't even remember the name of it now, but it looks so fun. And I'm that fall into reading. That graphic is so cute that I can't say no to that.
And it's 3 months, so you can
and it's different genres. So I think it's going to fit perfectly with what I'm already going to read anyway. So I'm going to do that. And then my friend Mandy that I've been buddy reading with, Mandy Garrett, she has a Mandy-a-thon, which is like the 5 letters of her name and 5 prompts for the month of October. So again, they're going to fit with what I'm reading. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do for the fall. And then November, nonfiction November. And then December, I read Christmas books. So the rest of my year is wrapped up.
Sarah and Bree from Bree Hill are Falling for Romance on Instagram. The 3 of us all got Sarah Morgan's new Christmas one and another Christmas one on NetGalley. And so we are going to read a lot of Christmas at the beginning of September. So I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
And clear out my NetGalley shelf.
Yeah, you need to read them and then tell me which ones to read afterwards.
That's what I'm waiting for. You to tell me what ones to read that are good.
I'm not a Christmas book fan, so you have to tell me which ones are best.
What, Jen? Too much joy and lightheartedness.
I just don't like when the plot is Christmas. Like, I don't mind if they're Christmas, but it's mostly Christmas novellas. Like, authors will put out these like novellas about Christmas. I'm like, why?
I love a good Christmas book. So
I do too.
Oh, you know this.
They're hitting
And
this
like
really-
today, it stormed here today, and so it's been like 100 degrees, and now today it is 75 right now, and so like that feels cool, and so I just feel like I'm ready to cozy up. Like I want to go put on a hoodie just because it's not 100 degrees.
Yeah, we've been getting rain this morning too, but it's still 98 degrees right now. So,
Oh,
but that's like
that's
that's
life.
yeah, that is like the coolest it's been. We've been like 113 plus, so 98 doesn't feel so bad.
Did your air conditioner get fixed?
Oh yeah, my husband fixed it the next day. It's just he had a full schedule, so he couldn't like abandon it to work on our AC. So we had to work the whole day and then come home and work on our AC. But it's just like, ugh. But it was pretty bad. It took about 8 hours to bring the house back down to a livable temperature.
I bet. Ugh.
like your
That's the worst.
you get tired. It's just like, please let it cool down.
Yeah,
Like,
it
I'm
got
so
to,
tired of being sticky and sweaty.
It got to like 95 degrees in the house. It was not
Oh
good.
my god.
It was not good.
Yeah.
So I just turned on the AC in our camper and just hung out in there while him and his brother were up on the roof fixing it. So I'm like, okay, just
Yeah.
That's a good
let
idea.
me know when it's safe to come back in.
Right?
My next book, which I guess will be September, I'll probably start it Monday or Tuesday, is You Have Me at Hola. So
Oh, yay.
Yay. I hope you love it.
I think I will. I mean, I love doing The Virgin, and I'm getting like really big vibes from that. So I don't know. Hopefully, it's like, I mean, obviously, it's not the same thing, but just like the telenovela.
It has similar like family chemistry,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To Jane the Virgin, I would say. So I think you'll like it.
Perfect. I'm really excited for that. And then I'm gonna read the new Jennifer Armentrout, the second one to the I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for it. Oh my god.
Cliffhanger about killed me. I was like,
I was like, how are you gonna have a nearly 700-page book and then have it end like this? Like, how are you gonna do that to me?
yeah, so I'm gonna read that. I can't think of, what is it called, Nicole? If something
You know, put me on the spot like that whole lot.
Is it A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So I'm gonna read that because I just can't wait. I'll probably get the Kindle version first and then buy the book later because I just need it. And every time I pre-order, it gets here 3 days after the date.
Yeah,
So-
that's why I don't pre-order anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
That was happening
I
to me.
live right by a Barnes and Noble, so I stopped pre-ordering because I can go pick it up at 10 in the morning instead of getting it at 8 p.m. the next day.
Exactly. And sometimes it'll show up on the day, but others it's like 2 or 3 days, and I'm like, I could have already read it by
But
now. So
Sometimes I get them early. Like if it's a published book, like I got The Takeover 3 days before it came out because I pre-ordered it. Yeah, because it came out on Friday and I got it on Tuesday. So
yeah, so I'm gonna read those two, and then I'm gonna read Well Played by Jen Zaluka because I got an arc. I was really excited. So I gotta read that one. I think it comes out the end of September, so that's on the list. And I have other stuff, but those are kind of like top priority for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
yeah.
Did everybody answer that
I
question?
haven't yet.
Go easy.
Izzy.
I'm gonna continue my reading of horror and thriller novels right now. I'm doing summer ween, so I've just been reading like some books. But my biggest priority as soon as September starts is to finish my traveling book so I can send it to Jen.
Oh god, I need to do that. Thank you.
Nobody finished theirs at all. But
I'm trying. I just keep the problem is I keep getting distracted by readathons.
Yeah.
And then
on that.
but it didn't fit for any of the prompts. It's a problem. So I'm avoiding all readathons in September. If you see me doing a readathon, yell at me. Thank you.
All right.
So maybe let's not start our in-depth read.
No, that doesn't count. I was gonna message you about that later.
That doesn't count. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be focusing on the in-depth series too, and then also a Sandra Brown book just came out, and then also Whitney and Lauren. They're doing another round for the pop culture readathon, but it's not going to be not going to be a full month. It's just going to be a week.
I am doing that. I lied.
So-
I am doing that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the only readathon I'm allowed to do next month. If you see me doing another readathon, y'all come to my mentions and start yelling at me.
That's what I was gonna say, Izzy. I was just like, you're doing the pop culture readathon, Fresh Prince round. So
Yep. I forgot. Thank you, Nicole.
you're welcome. I got you.
I've got one. I'm allowed one.
Yeah,
And then-
but it's
and
only
then-
it's not the whole month. It's just the week.
Exactly. And then we're
So,
going to start our
okay.
in-depth buddy read. I want to next month. So I'm hoping
Sure.
y'all are down.
I am doing the
Do you
opposite.
guys even remember how we used to read before BookTube? Like, the word readathon didn't even exist. Like,
Yeah, I
Before
didn't weirdly
BookTube.
like get distracted
How-
from things I wanted to
and
read.
now it can't go a month without
I
one.
remember my sister, because she was on BookTube before I was, and she said she was doing a buddy read, and I was like, "What is that?" And so she told me all about it, and I was like, "I want to do that," like because I loved like in school when we had to read books and we had like assigned chapters at night and stuff, and I'm like, I want to do that. So
We did some a couple years ago, didn't we? Didn't we do like with you and Alana?
Uh-huh.
I think we did
Uh-huh.
on like I remember that was what like 2 years ago. We did like a Christmas one, right?
yeah, I think so. Maybe I can't remember what we read.
I know. I'm like one I liked and one I didn't, but I don't remember what
Yes.
they were.
I know. I can't either. I
think
wish
we were
Boxer
good
like
in
saved your history so we could look back because I don't think we can. But
I mean, I'm sure. It's
Yeah,
on
I remember
video,
that.
But yeah.
yeah,
Honestly, it's hard for me to remember what I read last week, let alone 2 years ago. So
Thank goodness for Goodreads.
it's like,
well, except like buddy reads and that kind of stuff. Normally, like that
Yeah.
makes
Sticks
it more
to you.
fun
I knew it
and
was a
it's more of a
Christmas book.
discussion.
I think one of them was Dashing Through the Snow. I think.
Yes, it was definitely one of the. It was at least
Two,
a
I
Debbie
think.
McComber for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what the other one was.
Or maybe we read two Christmas. Did
Might
we?
have.
Because I think we're like we read one and then we're like, oh, here's this other one. Let's do
Yeah.
it too.
Yeah.
I can't
It might have
remember.
been. I don't know. Side track. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway, buddy reads, they're great.
They are.
I love them. Yeah, Antonella, Izzy and I had talked about starting the in-depth series from the beginning. So if you want to hop in,
We'll have to figure
do
out
that.
what we if we want to do live shows or what.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll
it's
talk about that.
4 years.
if you do live shows, I will be in the chat because I've read up to book 6, so I'm just going to be continuing on like throughout the year. So
Mhm.
I love that.
You're on book 6, you said?
I just finished book 6, so I'll be on book 7.
Okay. And there's like 50.
Yeah, there's 52. 52
gonna take us
coming
a
out
while.
next year.
Whew.
It's
It
gonna
gives me
take us
like
a while.
anxiety. I'm just like,
But they're
Me
kind
too, a
of
little
like-
bit.
Like they're short. They're short. It's fine.
yeah. I have to.
They do. They bring like popcorn,
Okay.
Oh yeah.
from what I remember. I've read the first and second one, I think.
Uh-huh.
Are they on audio, like on Hoopla or anything?
No,
No.
not
No.
for on Hoopla, not for me, and they're not on Audible Escape either. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
They're on audio somewhere. I listened to the first one through our library. Maybe it was on a CD or
Maybe
something.
Libby or something. Yeah. Interesting.
Up to 4.
Well, does anybody have anything else to say? Thank you to Sarah, she's at her brother's birthday party, but thank you for hosting and for inviting all of us to host. It has been so fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Like,
Yeah.
just in this 6, there's such diverse reading styles and habits and preferences that like
Yeah.
this is just it's been really, really fun. So thank you to Sarah.
And
Yes,
I was
thank
saying
you.
before, whoever did I don't know who created the Instagram thing. Was it you, Lizzie?
me.
I really,
Elizabeth.
really liked it. It was so much fun.
I know I dropped off, but it was so much fun while I was
Yeah, I
doing it.
tried.
Well, and then you can still jump back in. I mean, there's someone who I think it's a bookstore that they're going through their stacks and they're just doing like the original prompts from the first few days, and now they have the idea to keep going. And next month they're going to do like mystery scavenger hunt or something.
That's
So I
awesome.
think it's a paperback exchange. I mean, I've seen there's a romance author that's posted a few of her own books that met the prompts.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it's just been so fun to do it.
Yeah.
And just to put in a little plug for next March, because this past March, for March Mystery Madness, one of our co-hosts created a cover scavenger hunt for March, and that's how I even got the idea. So I have to give, it's Di from Dice's 19 Hearts. I have to give her credit for coming up with the idea, and then I just kind of stole it for and made up romance prompts. So if you want to do some mystery ones, then join us in March for March Mystery Madness, and you can do romantic suspense or whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll have another thing. And I was thinking for next year, instead of repeating the exact same thing, maybe it could be like a title search, and we can make a list of prompts for things that are in the titles of romances or
That would be
content. Or, I mean, every year we could do something different and not make it exactly the same every year.
Right. That's
For
awesome.
That would be
Send us
fun.
your suggestions.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you, ladies, for joining us, and thank you to everybody in the chat. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Bye,
Bye.
y'all.
Yeah, bye.